Are you worried about a depressed son or daughter? Do you wonder what you can do to help? A homeschool mom wrote me with this very question. I have an answer for her and for you next. I'm Dr. Melanie Wilson, Christian psychologist turned homeschooling mom of 6. Few things are as frightening as having a depressed son or daughter, but feeling helpless to do anything about it. We know we can't make our teen stop being depressed, but there are some powerful things that we can do to help. First, we can express unconditional love for our son or daughter using words. But we can also add physical touch to that. We can give our teen a hug, we can rub a shoulder, but if your teen is resistant to being touched, don't underestimate the power of your presence. In the book of Job, we read that his friends sat with him for 7 days and 7 nights. No one said a word to him because his suffering was so great. Our depressed teen likely feels lonely. Our patient presence with them argues against that feeling of isolation. Second, we can share our personal experiences to give our kids hope. I told my son how different and lonely I felt in high school because I knew he would be able to relate. I told him that I was sure things would never get any better, but I was wrong. I also talked with him about the hormonal fluctuations I'd experienced that could convince me my life was horrible when that wasn't true. After we've affirmed our love and shared our personal experience, it's time to talk about treatment options. A depressed teen will often feel that there is nothing they can do. Yet there are proven ways of treating depression, whether your teen's symptoms are related to a situation or to brain chemistry. Talk with your son or daughter about these options. Option number 1 is medication. Before getting a prescription, get a thorough physical. There are multiple conditions that can mimic depression, including hypothyroidism, diabetes, and even vitamin D deficiency. You should also be aware that abuse of alcohol and marijuana can contribute to depression. Antidepressant medication can help improve sleep, appetite, and energy. Finding the right dose and the right medication can take weeks, but when it helps, it can allow your teen to do the mental work required to make a full recovery. Option number 2 is light and exercise. If the changing season is affecting depression, use of a sunlight lamp could help. Exercise that is regular and vigorous, like walking, swimming, or playing a sport, is a powerful way of improving mood without the side effects of medication. If you exercise with a friend or family member, that exercise is serving a dual purpose. Option number 3 is to increase pleasant activities. When we are depressed, we stop doing the things that we used to enjoy. So we stop spending time with friends, and we spend less time on hobbies, and we don't get things done. We tell ourselves that we have to feel like it in order to do these things. But the problem is our inactivity leads to fewer feel-good neurotransmitters in the brain. We feel more depressed and the cycle continues. The way to break that cycle is to push ourselves gently to engage in those activities that we used to enjoy. So we shoot some hoops, we go to a movie, and we get that math assignment done because we will feel better when we do that. Maybe not the first time, but with regular, pleasant activities, our brain chemistry will improve. Option number 4 is cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. Our thoughts lead to emotions. So if we have a negative thought like, I have no friends, we're going to experience a negative emotion. Over time, negative thinking can lead to depression. So just as with the lack of pleasant activities, we can break the negative thinking depression cycle by changing the way that we think. The good news is that changing the way that we think can interrupt the cycle and result in improved brain chemistry that's just as effective as taking a medication, only with no side effects. For example, instead of accepting the negative thought, I have no friends, after not being able to find someone to play basketball with you, you could tell yourself, I do have friends, but they're not available right now. I would like to have more friends who are able to play. I might be able to meet some by going to open gym times. Maybe my brother would come with me. The book, The New Mood Therapy by David Burns, can help you use the principles of CBT to break the negative thinking cycle. But if you're more than mildly depressed, it will probably be challenging for you to think of alternative thoughts. That's where a professional trained in the use of CBT can be helpful. That mental health professional can also help you with the other treatment options that I've just described. Talk to your young adult about these options. Which would he like to try first? If he is non-committal, explain that you will continue to raise the issue because you love him. Also explain that you want to be supportive without nagging. Ask if he has any suggestions for how you can do that. But when depression is so severe that your son thinks he would be better off dead, it's time to get professional help. But don't hesitate to ask a severely depressed teen if he has thought about taking his own life. Then calmly ask him if he has considered how he would take action. If you have access to the means he describes, block his access to that means. Then ask him if anything would keep him from taking his own life. If he says yes, that he won't do it, it's still important to get professional help. But if he says no, and your child is imminently suicidal, it's important to take your child to the emergency room or call 911. After acknowledging this frightening possibility, it's important that I share the most powerful thing we can do for a depressed son or daughter. Pray for them. God knows how to reach your teen. God knows how to heal him. And as much as we want to do everything possible to help and protect our child, we are not God. We are not all-knowing and not all-powerful. In fact, if we try to be, we will end up exhausted and depressed ourselves. And so we pray to the one who is always with our son or daughter and loves them even more than we do. For more help with trusting God in this area, I highly recommend the devotional books, My Weakness for His Strength by Michael Wells. You can find links to them in the description for this video. I pray that this has been helpful. If it is, I hope you will subscribe for more homeschool sanity tips. And if you have a question that you would like me to address in a future video, just email me at melaniepHD@gmail.com.